Hey guys, I wanted to talk about the great deception in relation to the world diet, or currently where the large corporations are trying to push the public. The great nutritional deception started to occur as early as the beginning of the 20th century with the adoption of seed oils that replaced the traditional fats, which were animal fats, lard, cakes, and stuff like that. They weren't baked with shortening. So the seed oils became possible to extract the lipids from the seed oils as technological advancements in extraction methods. Just basically, as technology advanced, it became possible to take large amount of seeds. The issue with these plant fats that were marketed as more healthy than animal fats are very high in omega-6, and during the processing of these seeds into oils, deodorization, hexane as a solvent is added. So it's way too high in omega-6, and that throws off your essential fatty acid ratios, which can cause inflammation and increased oxidative stress from the byproducts that are created in making these seed oils. That's the first deception. And then after it was the lipid hypothesis, or the diet heart hypothesis, that again was pushed by food scientists to push a further elimination of animal fats, cholesterol, demonization of animal fats, into the hypothesis, the theory that this was the major cause of heart disease, even though we can look at early on research, such as Weston A. Price, who was a dentist that in the early 20th century had gone to about, I believe, 20 different isolated areas where modernity or modern ways of eating processed flour, canned goods, etc. He went to visit these areas. There was none of them that were plant-based. All of them, some of them were almost solely animal foods, and others had an omnivorous diet and had no dental caries or high cancer rates, if cancer rates at all. None of the modern diseases. So this is where we are currently, and there's been a further push with the plant-based diet to further eliminate essential foods that are in our diet, with this idea that plants are healthy and animal food is bad for your health. So they're pretty much down to 15-20% of your diet is encouraged to be animal food. They're actually encouraging for us to pretty much go vegan completely. No society has ever been vegan and survived. Even India eat a large amount of ghee, which is an animal fat, as well as chicken. So, and even of those in India, I believe it's 40% to follow that. The rest are quite omnivorous. So the idea is to take away the essential animal foods and push us towards plant-based processed plant-based products. This is on the global scale with the UN and large organizations globally that are pushing for this new plant-based issue. Diet can be used to manipulate the public, changing various food ratios or food content can lead to various changes in large scale behavior. For example, there's research that indicates that a high seed oil, high omega-6 diet can lead to more aggressive population, so it increases aggressivity. There's also the high sugar content that will pretty much keep us hungry. I won't go too much into detail, but in this video I really wanted to push to be aware that they're using the useful idiots through propaganda, documentaries. Prior to that, the moving away of livestock being raised by ranchers down to biblical times with shepherding, the way they were slaughtered also. So they've developed in certain countries, and that's not even everywhere. There's still large areas, countries that basically do the traditional grazing with the ruminant animals on the pasture, on the grasslands, replenishing the soil with their manure and urine and stuff like that. So they pretty much broke that type of structure around traditional animal farming. Like the Americans, I guess, are a good example, and these big feedlot ways of raising food where their animals aren't in the natural habitat. And then the vegans, through propaganda, help push this agenda by saying, look how inhumane, how unhealthy it is, how it's bad for the environment, all of these things. Even with the current feedlot paradigm, believe me, it's not animal food that's causing global warming as one of the worst culprits. That's just straight out lies. So what else do you want to say? I go into more detail. I'm just driving into work, but keep your eyes open. Realize that the agenda is to push to a pretty much totally plant-based, processed food alternatives, fake mock meats, various fake animal products like just eggs instead of traditional eggs. This was planned a long time ago. There was an article in the Cosmopolitan in the early 20th century by Lord Birkenhead. I learned that from Primal Edge Health channel, so I'll give him credit. And he, along with many other predictions, predicted that food would be grown in a lab. So this is what the elite are planning. This is what the 1%, or the fact that now government has jumped on board to unite with, just give me a second, to unite. So government and big business basically are uniting, and the minute the government is in bed with corporations, basically fascism, and that means that the government no longer works for the people but works for monetary gain. So I'll go into more detail on another video about within this age of deception on every level, guys, spiritual or religious, the way we communicate, the way the family structure is built. All this has been engineered to push us to the current issue in society, which is a complete degeneration of morals and basically a generation of snowflakes and completely confused individuals that are more obsessed about their feelings and emotions and pushing their beliefs on other people than studying and basically concentrating on morals, which need an objective truth, by the way, which is only found